Okay. Thanks for that introduction. I'm Madeline. People always get Kayla and I confused because we both have long brown hair, but like Kayla said, we work really closely together. We both live in Charleston. I'm actually in Columbia right now for quarantine, but yeah, we're excited to be here with you guys today and doing this, and happy to answer any questions you guys have. I've been working for Blender Bombs for about 1.5 years. I've been making smoothies every day for like 3 years. So I'm glad I get to walk you guys through this. So for anybody that's not familiar with Blender Bombs, this is our main product, the Blender Bombs. And it was started by another alumni, Helen Hall, who went to UofSC. She was in my pledge class, my graduating class, so I've known her since then. She started this company in 2017. She just started rolling these in her kitchen, and the company grew organically. So if you're not familiar with them, what a Blender Bomb is a ball made out of nuts and seeds and a date. It looks like this. And so the idea is you throw this in your blender with all of your other smoothie ingredients, and it's gonna blend right up, and it makes your smoothie a meal replacement. So we have 7 different flavors. You can check them all out, blenderbombs.com. But today I have the original Blender Bombs, and I'm gonna show you the recipe that's on the back of this box. So every single flavor has a different recipe on the back of the box. And I just thought this is a really good, basic, simple recipe to show everyone if you're not familiar with making smoothies and don't really know where to start. So I'm using the original, and I'm using a Vitamix today. I'm at my parents' house, so I get Vitamix. Normally I don't have this blender, and I love it. So Kayla, you want to tell us what you're using?
Yeah, so I'm actually going to use the goji today. So I have a really big sweet tooth, and the goji makes the fruit smoothies a lot sweeter. So if you love sweet things, I would recommend using a goji Blender Bomb. But I also brought out the aloe just to show you that the aloe and the original go really well together. So if you want a neutral taste, you could also substitute the aloe Blender Bomb for the same recipe, and you shouldn't notice a change in taste or flavor because they're pretty similar. But I'm using a NutriBullet. I'm at my apartment in Charleston, but this one's super good for making one smoothie. So if you're making them just for yourself, I love it. It works really well. And it's great, like I said, if you're just making one smoothie.
So I'll go ahead and walk you guys through this simple recipe that's on the back of this box. And I'm also gonna add in some things because I like a lot of vegetables in my smoothies. So, you know, it depends on the person, your personal preference, but I'm gonna show you guys what I add in, and then Kayla will show you guys what she adds in. So I started with just dropping this original Blender Bomb in here. And then the next thing is 2 tablespoons of bomb butter. So this is bomb butter, guys. If you don't know what this is, it is magic. I love it. It's kind of like a nut butter, but instead of nuts, we use flax. So it has flax, honey, coconut cream, aloe, a little bit of sea salt, and vanilla. And I love the way it makes my smoothie taste. I have to have it, and basically makes your smoothie a lot creamier. It adds fiber, it adds sweetness. So recipes call for 2 tablespoons. I just usually grab a huge blob and put it in there. I'd probably go a little heavy on the bomb butter, but I just really like it. So next thing is half a frozen banana, which I have here. I always put bananas in my smoothies. I just like the texture. And I like using frozen ones because, again, it's just going to make it a lot creamier. Sorry, I have 3 dogs in this house, and I can already hear one barking, so I'm really sorry if you guys hear that. Next is half a cup of frozen strawberries. So I just grabbed these from Trader Joe's. Dump those in there. That might be a little more than half a cup. I normally don't measure. I kind of just eyeball it, and depending on how hungry I am or what I'm in the mood for, you know, base it off of that. So the only 2 other things that this recipe calls for is water and ice. So let me get my measuring cup.
So she's doing that. I know Madeline's gonna add a couple other things to hers, and I'm gonna add frozen cauliflower rice. I know it sounds really weird, but it makes your smoothies so much creamier and also really thick. So if you like your smoothies to where you can eat them with a spoon, I promise you, adding frozen cauliflower rice makes it so good and so creamy, and also sneaks in some extra vegetables, and you can't even taste it.
Yeah, cauliflower rice is also great if you have children and you're trying to sneak vegetables into their smoothie without turning it green. Cauliflower rice is the way to go because it's not going to change the color of your smoothie. So I'm going to add in about half a cup of water, half a cup of ice, and then I'm going to show you what vegetables I'm going to put in my smoothie is spinach. I usually buy fresh spinach and freeze it when it starts to go bad or when it's about to go bad. So I'm just going to dump that in there. I usually do a couple handfuls. I love vegetables. And then another thing that I put in my smoothies is broccoli sprouts. So this is kind of a random one, but it's really good for your gut and you can't taste it as long as you do just like a pinch or two. So I'm going to go ahead and drop that in there. And then I think I'm ready to blend this up.
Okay, and for the cauliflower rice, I don't know if you can see this, but I would say it's probably about a half a cup. I do a little more though, just because I love how creamy it makes my smoothies.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and blend this. So I'm sorry about the noise.
It takes a long time, but since I have it, I only add a little bit of water at a time, and then I mash it up with a spoon in between to really get that thick and creamy consistency. It kind of takes a little bit longer, but I promise it's so worth it when you're eating basically a smoothie bowl and it's not so liquidy. So I just mash it like this and just add water little by little as I blend. Also, it's totally up to you, but I typically break my blender bombs before I blend them, just because I keep them in the fridge so they get a little harder. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. It's just easier on my blender to blend it if I break it up.
Okay, so mine's looking pretty good. I like thick smoothies. If you want them to be a little bit thinner and easier to drink, just add some more liquid. You can also use almond milk or any kind of nut milk. Coconut milk is really good in smoothies, especially if you don't have balm butter. I would recommend using probably a nut milk and adding nut butter and honey. This smoothie is also really good with nut butter. Sometimes, especially if I feel like I need extra protein, I'll do a scoop of that in there. So my smoothie is pretty much ready to go, but I'm gonna put some stuff on top. So first I'm gonna do Bomb Drizzle. This is actually a brand new product and it's made out of dates and aloe. It's basically like a syrup. That's good for you. And I didn't know how good this was until I just got it like last week and it's so good. And it basically sweetens your smoothie. You can put it in your coffee, you can put it on your pancakes, your waffles. I've been putting it in margaritas, like you can do anything with it and it is amazing. So I'm gonna drizzle it on top. And then gotta have the granola. This is our original granola. I like to put it on top of my smoothie and then eat my smoothie with a spoon. That way I'm getting to like actually bite and chew and get the crunch. And it's just delicious and it's perfect snack too. So this is my final product. It's not very pretty because of the spinach, but I know that it's gonna taste really good.
So I'm done with mine too. Mine's pink still because I didn't add spinach. I did the cauliflower rice. And I did the chocolate bomb drizzle on mine. Oh, a little bit. But it's so good. This is also good too over like ice cream or pancakes or waffles, anything like that. It's very versatile.
Yeah, so that's pretty much your basic steps to making a blender bomb smoothie. All you really need is a blender bomb, a cup of fruit, a cup of vegetables, water and ice. And you can, it totally depends on your preference. If you like a tropical smoothie with mango, pineapple, you can do mixed berries. You can do all kinds of things. We also have all different flavors. So you'll be able to find a smoothie that you like and works for you. And the more you start making them, the more you'll learn about, what really works for you. And it helps you get into like a really good routine in the morning of always starting your day with one meal that has fruit and has vegetables and has all these healthy fats, and it kind of sets you off during your day to have a good rest of the day when you start with a smoothie. So I make one literally every day, probably 6 times a week, and love them and love how they make me feel.
And I'm typically more of a chocolatey person. So I typically will make like a mint chocolate chip smoothie or a peanut butter and chocolate chip smoothie. But every now and then I'll change it up and make a fruit one. But also too, if you haven't found a recipe that works for you, I would just try a bunch of different things, try a bunch of different fruits and vegetables. Because I would have never put cauliflower rice or spinach in my smoothies a year ago. But once you get that perfect consistency, it's so good, and you won't be able to make your smoothies without it. Yeah, if you guys have any questions that you want to ask us or anything about smoothies or the business, please feel free to go ahead and ask them.
Yeah, if you all have questions, you can type in the chat feature. So across the bottom of your screen, there's a little chat button. It should pull up a chat on the right side of your screen. So you can just type a question in. Madeline and Kayla are here to answer all of your questions about blender bombs or smoothies or healthy eating, anything like that.
Yeah. And if you don't have questions, that's okay. We can talk more about Helen or the business or whatever you guys are interested in. Okay.
The inspiration for this product. So Kayla and I are not the creators of this product. I wish we were. We just work for the company, but I know Helen very well and her story very well. So Helen went to South Carolina and graduated with a degree in fashion and wanted to like work in retail. And when she graduated, she was like kind of on a personal health journey. She had gained a bunch of weight in college and kept trying all these fad diets. I mean, I remember going into her apartment and her making cabbage soup and trying to eat that for 3 days and like all this crazy stuff. So she went to a doctor and asked him, you know, what can I put in my smoothies that's going to make me feel full and satisfied? And he gave her a list of nuts and seeds. So around the same time, she graduated, moved to Charleston, and was a certified personal trainer. She started adding all these nuts and seeds to her personal smoothies, and it was working. So she wanted to share them with her clients. And so she started getting all the ingredients. She went to Costco and bought everything in bulk and started rolling these balls that contain all of the ingredients and started selling them to her clients. And the word just kind of spread organically. She kind of started growing a following on social media organically, which I think helped her a lot. And yeah, she just wanted to share what had helped her lose so much weight and made her feel so good. And that was the inspiration behind it.
And then from there has stemmed the other products. So she wanted to have a complete smoothie line. So the bomb butter, the granola, and then now the bomb drizzle just launched about a month ago. So now she's trying to build an entire product line for people just to make things easier.
Yeah. And then second question is, what are your personal favorite Blender Bomb favorites? I will tell you mine, and then Kayla, you can let us know. I started with aloe and Irish sea moss. That was my first favorite because it's super neutral and it goes well in any kind of smoothie. But after I tried all the flavors, my personal favorite would be the mint. Right back here. This literally makes your smoothie taste like a mint chocolate chip milkshake. It was the last Blender Bomb flavor that I decided to try because I thought, like, why would I want a minty smoothie? That sounds gross, but it is delicious and I crave it and I have it like every day.
Yeah, I have to agree. So because Madeline and I are twins, we obviously have the same opinion too. So when I make a fruit smoothie, I typically just reach for the aloe because it's neutral. I know it'll go well with anything I'm making. But for my chocolate smoothies, I seriously have a mint chocolate chip smoothie every single day. Everyone's afraid of them, and I can understand why you might think it might taste like gum or something, but it is so good. And I also like the peanut butter, cacao and peanut butter blender bombs. I know that's like 3 favorites, but those are my top 3.
I love them all. So the next question, do you have any other tips for making a smoothie bowl without acai packets or powder? In order to make a good smoothie bowl, I think the key is using frozen fruit and less liquid. That's just going to make it a lot thicker. And if you want that thick consistency, I typically don't even put ice in my smoothies. I just use everything frozen and less liquid. I think there's
a bigger blender, kind of like Madeline. So I've tried to make smoothie bowls in my personal one before. It just doesn't work as well. So if you have a bigger blender like a Vitamix and you have that little stick that you can mush down the stuff and help blend it, that helps make it thicker and creamier, and you don't have to add as much liquid. So Vitamix or Blendtec would be great for making smoothie bowls too.
I agree. Okay, what is your strategy with approaching partnerships? So this is actually a good question for Kayla and I, because we typically handle partnerships. A lot of brands and influencers will reach out to us, and we try to make sure that our partnerships are as organic as possible. So if an influencer wants to, talk about blender bombs and help us sell them, we want to make sure that they actually like blender bombs, that they actually use blender bombs, that it fits with their lifestyle, and that like they have a personal experience with our brand. Same as when another brand wants to partner with us, we like to make sure that their values line up with ours. I think that's really important. And, being a startup and coming in to this company and starting to work for them, it was like so brand new, all the partnerships and all kinds of people asking us to partner with them. And we kind of figured out a system that works well for us.
You definitely had to learn the hard way sometimes with partnerships, because at first you're like, oh my gosh, everyone wants to work with us, or this person's so cool, but I don't know about, I'm pretty active on my own social media, so there's nothing more frustrating than seeing like every single influencer posting about the same brand, the same item, and it's like, they don't really use that. So we made that our goal, to not just work with people because, oh, they're popular and people love them, but if the influencer or the person has actually had a personal experience from using our blender bombs, or has tried them for 2 to 3 months, seen a difference, and just genuinely wants to share the results with other people, that's when we're like, okay, we'll work with you. But we also have a little ambassador program. We call them our bomb ambassadors. And those are just like everyday people who can apply. There's really no requirements at all. And that's just giving people the chance who do use our products already and who want to share them with their followers and their friends. But as far as brand partnerships, kind of like what Madeline said, it wouldn't really make sense for us to partner with like a beef jerky company. So we definitely have to look at everything and, make sure it's somewhat on brand and also something that we enjoy too, because if we try the products and don't like them, it's not something we're going to like host a giveaway with or really work with them. So we make sure that all of our partnerships are meaningful and that, it lines up with what we believe in too. Okay, can you tell us about your jobs at Blender Bombs and what you do? Okay, so I might go all over the place with my answer. So all of us do literally so much different stuff. So I guess if you want the short answer, I do a lot of HR stuff. So I run payroll, I keep up with our expenses, I plan team events, anything with money I typically handle. But then I also handle our Bomb Ambassador program, our influencer marketing, and brand partnerships, planning giveaways, all of our social media like stories, answering DMs, doing our Facebook. But there's also a lot in between that comes with that. But on a typical day, that's the stuff that I'm focusing on and doing. And Madeline is pretty similar too.
Yeah, so along with Kayla, run the Bombassador program, influencer marketing, and brand partnerships. We kind of tag team that stuff, which is really fun. And then I also handle all of our small wholesale accounts. So any like small retail store that sells blender bombs, I'm the one that, kind of gets them approved and set up with everything and help them order and all of that. And then I also do a lot of our events and our demos and our pop-ups. I'm the bus driver, so if you ever see the bus, it's usually me driving it. Right now, all of that is canceled, so we're kind of taking a little break from that, but that's a big part of my job, typically.
How big is Blender Bombs? Employees, yearly sales, manufacturing process? Okay, so Blender Bombs is made up of me, Madeline, Casey, Winston, Scott, and Helen. So there's 6 of us. Helen and Scott are dating, and Scott handles a lot of our larger wholesale accounts, so like Whole Foods, Publix. Whenever we're trying to get into those bigger retailers, he'll kind of handle that. And then we have a graphic designer, that's Winston, and she's also our art director. And then Casey does a lot of brand managing and works with wholesale accounts as well, and does the pop-ups as well. So we're a team of 6. We love each other. We love working together. So we're still kind of small team-wise, but we also have 2 interns, so that helps a lot too. And then manufacturing process. So we have a manufacturing center out of Charlotte, North Carolina. They are so awesome. Helen used to make all of this in her kitchen herself, but that quickly became pretty much impossible. So they make all of our blender bombs, granola, our bomb butter, and now the bomb drizzle. Yeah. And Helen has also kind of started some other companies off of blender bombs. She's doing like a cookie company called 80/20 Market, where she eventually wants to have a line of products that are healthy ingredients and good for snacking. And they also make the cookies too. Tips for someone
just starting out on their health journey. So one tip I'll tell you right now, following Helen on Instagram and Blender Bombs is helpful. Helen's Instagram is at Hush Up and Hustle. And she gives a lot of tips and what works really well for her. But I'd say starting slow and taking it one day at a time and one step at a time is really important. You're not going to wake up tomorrow and all of a sudden have this perfect healthy routine where you're exercising and drinking smoothies and juices and whatever. Like it's one thing at a time. So I think a really good place for people to start is with having a smoothie every day and starting with your morning routine. The first thing that you put into your body, you know it's going to be healthy, and you know you can trust it. All of the ingredients in this that you see on the front are the same ones on the back. So it's all just real food. It's not powders. It's not chemicals. It's just real things from the earth. So I would say take it slow, implement one healthy habit at a time. And having a Blender Bomb smoothie a day, can't say enough about it. It's helped me a ton. It's helped a ton of people. We see testimonials from people all the time that, start getting on the right track by implementing a smoothie a day. So I think that's a great place to start, and just take it slow, do a lot of research, and figure out what works best for you, just because every single person is so different that it's a lot of trial and error and figuring out what works best for your body, for your schedule, and something that you can maintain. Diets have not ever worked for anyone, I feel like. If they're short term, like fad diets, it just, it doesn't really work. So I think having a healthy lifestyle and focusing on nourishing yourself with real food from the earth, lots of plants, is a great place to start.
Yeah, making it a lifestyle change, not just a diet. And like Madeline said, don't go to the store and buy like all vegan, plant-based stuff, because it will literally be so overwhelming. Just start with one meal a day, whether it's a smoothie, whether it's instead of eating, pasta or going out to eat, just replace it with something whole and real, and just know that you're getting at least one good nutritional meal a day, and then go from there. And then maybe start incorporating intermittent fasting if it's approved by your doctor and if it's for you, and then slowly adding in other things once you're used to the one big switch.
Yeah. So next question, do you mainly do your smoothies in the morning, or have you replaced lunch and or dinner? So again, this is personal. It depends how many meals a day you eat, what time you wake up, all of that stuff, your schedule. Lots of nurses use Blender Bombs that work night shifts. I personally do something similar to what Helen does, and I guess it's my breakfast, but I have it around 11 a.m. I have a smoothie every day at 11. I typically get hungry around 2:30 or 3 and eat something else, like a small lunch or a big snack, and then I have dinner. Sometimes I'll have a smoothie for dinner if I've just not had time to make one that day and, kind of eating junk, or don't feel like I don't have any food to make dinner. I'll make a smoothie for dinner. So it definitely just depends. Kayla, what do you do?
I typically do it for lunch as well, but last night was a perfect example. I had a bigger lunch and then a snack in the middle of the day, and then I worked out, so I wasn't really hungry, so then I had a smoothie for dinner. I prefer them probably for lunchtime, But it also just depends on the day. But there's no health benefit if you have it in the morning or the afternoon or dinner. There's no difference. So whatever works best for your schedule, it's totally up to you.
Can you tell us more about the smoothie shops in Charleston and the events with the bus? Yes. So Helen owns 2 smoothie bars. Kayla and I actually don't work for the smoothie bars. They're a different company, but they're called Hustle Smoothie Bar. And one is in Town Center in Mount Pleasant. And it also has a little market. And the other one is on Meeting Street downtown Charleston. It's an amazing place to go and work when they're open again. Right now, I think they're still just doing pickup. But you can get some really delicious smoothies. All of their smoothies have a blender bomb in them. You can buy blender bombs there. They also do toast, like amazing avocado toast and small meals like that. So it's a really fun place to go and work. It's quiet. It's really cool in there. And Helen owns that with another girl named Kelly and Scott and Casey, and they're amazing. So for the events with the bus, so right now we're not having any events with the bus. I think though that Helen and Hustle Smoothie Bar are doing pop-ups in the Old Village in Mount Pleasant every Sunday, and they're selling Hustle smoothies there. So if you're in Charleston, definitely check it out on Instagram. Helen will post about it. But before, we would take the bus about once a month. We'll go for like 5 days around the Southeast. So I've been as far as Cincinnati. I've been to Birmingham, Atlanta, Knoxville, Greenville, all over. So Casey and I will go on the bus, and we sleep on the bus. And we go to different places that either sell blender bombs, or if we want them to sell blender bombs, we'll go and kind of do a demo just to introduce blender bombs to their community and to their customers, and let people sample the blender bombs. A lot of people actually just eat blender bombs plain instead of in a smoothie. So if you want a snack, if you're going on a hike or whatever, just grab one of these and it's a great snack. So we let people sample them and, you know, kind of just try to get them familiar with blender bombs. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of work, but it's really rewarding because we get to meet our customers face to face and hear amazing stories, and everyone's so sweet and supportive. So I love it.
Working for a startup can be tough. Hours, uncertainty, etc. What keeps you motivated? This is a really good question. So I can honestly say the fact that we all believe in the product, and hearing from you guys, our customers, about how it's changed their lives, that's definitely what keeps us motivated. We answer every single DM, we respond to every single comment, every single email. So really seeing and being involved with all of you guys is what keeps us motivated, because we know we are changing lives and helping people for the better. And Helen is just awesome to work for. She keeps us motivated too by just, you know, we went to Costa Rica last year on a team trip. We're always doing like little fun beach days or team dinners or lunches just to kind of stay connected and involved with each other, since we are working from home right now. But yeah, other than that too, I think we all just have an understanding that we are working for a startup, so that we kind of know what goes with it, and just always trying to keep a positive attitude. And we all really do work so well together. So that's also a really big blessing, liking your coworkers.
Yeah, just piggybacking off of that, a big thing is that we're actually all friends. We all like each other, and even though we're all working remotely, I still talk to my coworkers like every day and FaceTime them and enjoy being with them during work and outside of work. You know, so that is huge, and it's worked really well for us so far. And again, like, we believe in this product. Like, I believe in this product. I use this product all the time and can't say enough about it. So that definitely helps. Are there any other blender bomb flavors in the works? So right now we've talked about it, and I think the next big thing is going to be a vegan blender bomb, because technically blender bombs are not vegan because they have a little bit of honey in them, and not all vegans choose to have honey. So that's probably the next big thing that's coming out. Right now, we already have 7 flavors, and we just came out with a canna bomb, which is a blender bomb with CBD in it, which is really exciting. And we're kind of focusing on the 3 new bomb drizzles and
bomb bars coming.
Oh, bars, yeah.
So that's really exciting. That was something highly asked for and recommended, was to make bars. So we've literally taken the blender bombs and a little bit of the bomb butter and a couple other ingredients too to make bars, like little snack bars. So I don't know if you follow us on Instagram on Blender Bombs or Hush Up and Hustle, we've been asking for help to finalize the packaging. So packaging is being finalized this week. So within the next 6 to 8 weeks, we're gonna have another new product. So that'll be really fun. And I think those will have 4 or 5 different flavors. That's exciting.
Yeah, and all of the product development is Helen. Like, I don't know, she just comes up with all of these ideas and cranks them out like no one I've ever seen before.
It happened.
I'm not sure our launch date for bomb bars, but it's going to be, I would think, in the next couple of months. It takes a while to get ingredients and recipes and flavors exactly right when they're being manufactured, you know, up in Charlotte. And we're working on packaging right now. We're having all you guys vote on what you guys like best, what looks the coolest. And once we get all of that done and printed and made all the packaging, they'll be good to go. What is the benefit of adding CBD to blender bombs? So that also depends on the person and if you're a CBD user and what kind of dosage you like to use. CBD has been known to have benefits for a lot of people, whether it's like making them, you know, less anxious or feel more calm or help with pain. So that's, I think, differs case by case. And we just thought it'd be fun to make a blender bomb that has CBD in it. Unfortunately, we can't sell it on our website because it has CBD in it, but you can find it on apusmercantile.com and purchase it there.
Yeah, that was a learning curve for us. So you can still buy them, just not from our website.
Right.
These have all been good questions. Does anybody have any others? Or need us to explain anything better?
All right, if no one has other questions, we can wrap it up. But thank you, Madeline and Kayla, so much for being here today. I know I learned a lot about blender bombs. I hope everyone enjoyed it as much as I did. We really appreciate your time and for being with us today.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us. And if you guys ever have any questions, feel free to email or DM Blender Bombs and we will get back to you guys. And we're really happy that we got to be here with you guys today. And thank you.
Yes, thank you guys so much. This was so much fun. We hope you liked your smoothies.